I have a friend who's been missing in action and dating a girl for 5 months. She refuses to meet any of his friends, though she has none of her own, and she won't have sex with him. We're all excited he has a girlfriend. Really? But should we advise him to dump the motherfucker already? Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. What you tell him is, you got that one, that shitty, awful, lousy girlfriend that proves to you that you can get a girlfriend. Another one, a better one, a different one. Size matters. Do you prefer... Oh, size matters. Do you prefer length or girth? It have to be either or. I want to come out to you guys. I'm one of those gay guys who's kind of not a cockhound. Like, it's kind of not the first thing I think about when I meet a guy. It's like, I can't wait to see his dick. Like, those guys who can, like, give a blowjob to a dick that's been pushed through a hole in a stall, in a truck stop, and all you can see is the dick. Like, for me, it matters what the dick is attached to and where it goes. So I want to see everything else. So I have no opinion. If I like the guy and he's got a lengthy dick, that's great. If he's got a not so lengthy dick, that's great. If I like the guy, it can be girthy or not girthy. It depends on whether I like the guy. My feelings about the dick are entirely contingent upon my feelings about the guy. Rick Santorum can have the prettiest dick in North America, and I'm not going to put it in my mouth unless someone's taking pictures that I can post. How can I get my husband interested in S&M, sadomasochism? What's your husband interested in? Tit for tat, right? I hope your husband's good giving in game, as we say in Savage Love. If there's anything that I hope to accomplish in the next 20 years of Savage Love, it's to destroy utterly and forever the Venn diagram that has been sold to people about sexual interests in a long-term relationship or a marriage, which is this idea that you shouldn't do anything that doesn't turn you on. And if you're doing anything that doesn't turn you on, independently of your partner's delight, or pleasure, or interest, you're somehow degrading yourself, or being wrong. Now, no one should do anything that leaves them curled up in the fetal position sobbing. Right? But people have this idea that they shouldn't do things that they're indifferent to, or that aren't their favorite things. And so what you get is this, like, a Venn diagram. You know what that looks like? 2 circles with some overlap? And they should only do what's in the overlap when it comes to their sex life. Here's her sexual interest, here's his sexual interest. We can only do this. If we get out of here, then you're being brutally violated, or I'm being brutally violated. And so what you have are these relationships where both partners are unsatisfied most of the time. Because both partners are not doing most of what turns them on. Now, if you're lucky, you're a circle, right? Your Venn diagram is one circle. If you're unlucky, your Venn diagram doesn't even touch. It's 2 stop signs. But the problem is there are people who are like 20, 25, 30%, 40% overlap, which means they're 70, 60% unhappy, unsatisfied, with unrealized sexual interests and fetishes. So what you have to go to say to your husband is you draw that Venn diagram and you say, here's what I'm not getting out of this relationship. Here are the things I'm interested in. And you roll out, you haven't even said if you told your husband and he said no. When it comes to fetishes, you need to present them like their birthday presents on Christmas morning, which are bonus presents, right? The problem with fetishes is that people often confess them like they're problems. I have this terrible condition. People talk about their kinks like they're leukemia. Honey, I have cancer. I have S&M cancer. And it's eating away at my soul, and I'm going to need years of chemotherapy, which will have to be delivered with a flogger. And presented like that, who's really going to be interested in meeting your needs? You have to present it like, my kink makes me more interesting and fun, and it's not that this is something you have to do because you're my sex partner. This is something you get to do. This is going to be awesome. And then you have to do the same in return for their sexual interests. And ladies, men are about, the research says 100 to 1 chance, 100 times, 100 kinky guys for every kinky girl. Not that there are kinky girls. I get letters from women who are into diapers, letters from women who have rape fantasies, letters from women all the time who have kinks. But, you go to the kink ads in any paper, and on any blog, any website, and there'll be 100 guys. Which means if you're a kinky girl, Yahtzee. You can write your own fucking ticket. And beat them off with a stick, and they will like it. The downside is that if you're not a kinky girl, the odds that you're going to be in a relationship with a kinky guy are really high. So, what are you going to do when you meet the kinky guy that you're in love with? Are you going to say, no? No, you're going to say, yes. I got a letter once from a girl who wrote me because she broke up with her boyfriend. They'd been going out for a year. At the end of a year, she was a waitress, putting herself through school. She's in college. At the end of the year, he'd been giving her foot massages every night. And at the end of the year, he confessed that he actually had a foot fetish. And she dumped it. And wrote me and said, I just want a normal guy. And this was, she was very distraught to learn that all this time she thought he was selflessly giving her these foot massages. He was actually just perving out. And that, for me, as a pervert, all those foot rubs were fine until you found out that he enjoyed them as much as you enjoyed them. And my advice to women when the guy tells you what his fantasies or fetishes are is if it's something doable and moderate, marry that man. Because if you dump the honest foot fetishist, you will marry the dishonest necrophiliac. And be careful when you press a guy. And I'm running with, when you do sex advice of men and women, you have to generalize, and I'm generalizing about 3 billion people, and 3 billion people, or 3.5 billion, and 3.5 billion, and there'll be hundreds of millions of exceptions, and the odds that the exceptions are here with us tonight are really high. But generally, this is true. If you press a guy, if you're a girl, about his sexual interests or fantasies or secret, fantasies he's been fantasizing about, just tell me what they are. He is not going to tell you, after you press him and press him and press him, that his secret fantasy is lighting 1,000 tea candles in the bedroom and sprinkling rose petals on the bed. Like Ross did in that episode of Friends. His secret fantasy is he's going to want you to piss down his throat or something like that. And if you can't handle the truth, don't badger him until it comes out. Thank you. No.